Ronny Dahl, Four Wheeling Australia. Welcome to
Help, I'm bogged.
Anyone? No one. Let's talk you through the scenario that we're in right now. You're excited, you're pumped, you just bought a brand new vehicle, or you borrowed someone's vehicle, maybe it's your dad's car, your mum's car even, and here you are on the beach and you're bogged, you're by yourself, no recovery gear, no shovel, no help whatsoever, no air down device, no inflation device either. What do? Well, I'm going to run you through step by step how we're going to get out of this situation without using any tools. Let's get to it.
Step 1. How bad is it?
We're well and truly bogged, as you can see. So what's the first thing you should do? Well, definitely not panic. If you panic, you're stuffed, like this bloke here. Hello? Hello? Damn it, no reception. The tire's coming in. Ah! If only I watched more Ronny Dahl videos, I'd know what to do. What is the first thing you should do? I recommend that you look for the high tide line first because we're at the beach. No phone reception, you got no signal, you can't check what the tides are. Look for the high tide mark. I can see there's one there. It's 5 meters behind the Prado. We're fine. We are absolutely fine. We've got heaps of time. Now we can work on how we are going to get this vehicle out because it is seriously bogged.
Step 2. What do we have in the car?
Water, keep yourself hydrated. We've got that in the car. Always look in your glove box. You might find some gloves in your glove box. Floor mats. These are brand new floor mats. I hope Chris doesn't mind me taking these. These can come in handy too. All right, so that's what we got now. Because we're on a beach, there's always stuff that washes up. So let's look for something that might assist us in digging. Otherwise, we're gonna probably be missing a few nails by the end of this. After about 10 minutes of looking, we found an old mud flap. I can use this to sort of dig with. And I found a bit of fiberglass from a boat. That's gonna help me dig as well. Let's get to it.
Step 3. Time to get dirty, or sandy, depending on where you are.
There's a couple of things we need to do. There's a bit of a sequence to it. We need to take some air out of the tyres. But before we can get to all the valves, we need to clear some sand out. So we're gonna start the process by digging the front out and the back out. And you might ask, why are we digging both sides when we just want to go out forward or out back? The thing is, once we get this vehicle loose a little bit, we're going to start rocking it. So we need clearance front and back. We'll get to that once we dig this out. Before you dig yourself out too much, and it doesn't look as bogged, always stop when you get a bit puffed from one side and get yourself a selfie so you've got a bit of evidence that you got bogged. It's always fun to show your mates and tell a story later on. Bogged dads, bro. As we're down to the chassis, it's good to get something flat, or you can stick your arm right in there, it's just a bit of a pain, and then just get that sand just underneath the chassis rail. It's going to really assist in getting the car moving once we get to that point.
Step 3.5. Think why. Why oh why?
Why did I get bogged in the first place? Was it too much tyre pressure? Was I not in four-wheel drive? Did I have traction control on or off? Did I have A-track on or off? Was the centre locked? It could be all different scenarios. So think about that. It could even be as simple as trying to drive up an incline with your wheels turned, like full locked. That's also going to, it's going to cause you to possibly bog down as well. So just think about those things while you're digging, because that's the next thing we're going to have to get to.
Step 4. The worst part. Getting right under.
Worst part about digging this car out is when you get to the diffs and everything underneath it. Try and uncover the bash plates, then you know how far you got to dig. We actually got to dig pretty far. It's actually a lot worse than what I first anticipated. We're going to be here for a little while. This is called the I can't reach the bloody middle position. No, I'm not doing yoga. I'm trying to get under there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've done myself a mischief here. Ni hao. That's probably the most bogged I've ever gotten a stock vehicle, put it that way. I think we're almost there though. I am ready to give it a crack to go backwards. Just going to move this big pile of sand and just pull from underneath. I mean, look how much sand I'm sitting on here, just from under there. We couldn't even see the diff before. But we're getting there, we're getting there. Just don't expect this to be a quick affair if you're in this situation. It's going to take time. You're going to end up with sand in your jocks, all kinds of places you don't want it, but that's just what happens when you don't have all the gear with you and you're not prepared.
Step 5. Airing down evenly without a device.
Uncover your valve caps. So I've done this one here, it's ready to go, but some you may have to dig for and look for because they'll be right at the base. That's always the luck. I've got a stick. With this stick, we're going to jam it in here and we're going to count to 60 seconds. Or you can get your phone out and do a countdown. 60 seconds each corner. That'll roughly take out between 12 to 8 psi, depending on how you hold it, depending on how much pressure's in the tyres. These tyres currently have 30 psi. Our aim is to get them down to about 15. Do the old bang test. You may see some truckies on the side of the road, they'll bang their tyres with a tyre iron. There's actually a bit of science behind that, or it's not really science, they're just getting a feel of how wobbly the tyres are. The more wobbly they are, the less pressure there's in them. So we'll be able to check it out by doing this. All right, let's get to it. 1, 2, 3. It's a bit more jello, wobbling a little bit more. I think we still need more out of it, but let's get all the other tyres down to 60 seconds. This time we're using a timer on the phone. So instead of counting, I can enjoy my view.
All tyres have now been lowered by 90 seconds. So we did 2 rounds. First round of 60 seconds, second round of 30 seconds. Step 6. Correct the system to assist getting out.
We're back in the driver's seat now. Remember earlier when we were digging and I said, think about what might have gone wrong? Let's run through what went wrong here. First of all, we were not in four-wheel drive. We were in what's called full-time four-wheel drive, which is essentially all-wheel drive. It's not proper four-wheel drive. So we need to lock the center diff, we'll get to that. Also, we were turning too sharp going up an incline on the beach. That's when you lose all your power and momentum and you start sinking. The third problem was we had too much air in the tyres. Now, had we had low tyre pressure and we've been in four-wheel drive, this wouldn't be a problem. We'd be able to just drive around pretty much anywhere you like on the beach. Especially in these modern vehicles, they're so damn capable and they're so light. What we're going to do now is we're going to correct everything that we need to, and then we're going to get out of here. Turn the vehicle on first, keep your foot on the brake. First things first, we need lock the center diff. It's locked, it's now in. And let's go to low range while we're here. Now, most automatic vehicles, you need to go to neutral. Then we flick low range on. We're in low range, beautiful. And we're pretty much ready to go. Now, traction control or anti-skid is turned off automatically in low range in this particular vehicle, and we have A-track in here as well. We do have a rear diff lock, but I reckon the A-track will get us out easily enough. Not everyone has a diff lock, so let's leave the diff lock out of this scenario. We're ready to go.
Step 7. The easy part. Just drive on out.
I'm definitely going backwards to start with. I'll leave the seatbelt off for now. The moment of truth. Okay, so we popped up. Now we're going to pop down. And then back out. We got it. We got it. We got it. We are down by the water. We need to turn parallel so we don't avoid getting into the same situation. Just very gently, very carefully. Don't steer too much. And here we go. Now, before you steer off the beach, get some momentum up. Right, now steer up. There we go. Not wearing my seatbelt. Naughty, naughty. And there we go. We are out. You just got to commit, get underneath, really dig out all the low points. If you only dig out the chassis rail and the tyres, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to keep digging yourself down. Next, I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid this in the first place. And with those tips, you shouldn't end up in that situation pretty much ever, really. So let's go over and do that now. Didn't even need the mats. I had the mats reserved for putting underneath the tyres as a last resort if we had to, but didn't need them.
How to avoid getting bogged.
That was a lot of hard work. To avoid being in that situation that I was in, follow these steps. Step 1, learn your vehicle. Learn how to put it in full drive. Know what all the things and all the features are in your vehicle. Number 2, lower your tyre pressures. On beaches, you're looking at sub 15 PSI. Don't turn your wheel too sharp if you're going too fast because you may pop your tyre off, but it's kind of a rare occurrence. It's a bit of a myth that your tyres will get destroyed or fall off your rims. As long as you drive reasonable, you'll be fine. Number 3, assess the situation and go with someone else. Don't come to a beach like this by yourself if it's the first time you're ever coming here, or if you have low experience, because this beach here, this is Lansdowne Beach, it has taken many vehicles. And I'm serious, it's taken many vehicles here. While we've been here, a lot of people have come down, assessed the beach, decided not to go here. They've done a UE, and 2 of them got a bit stuck, had to get out and lower their tyres. So again, back to step 2, lower your tyres. Step number 4, if you're going to get into this, consider recovery points. If you have a rear tow point, you have a recovery point. Not a tow ball though. Never use a tow ball. What you see on your screen now is what you should be looking at getting as a recovery point, but don't use a tow ball. Step number 5, bring the basic tools, gloves, shovel, spade. And if you can afford it, get some max tracks. Those things will get you out in 5 to 10 minutes flat, rather than 2 to 3 hours of digging and mucking around. Those steps there will get you sorted, and you can go full driving anywhere you pretty much like to, really. So just always bear in mind, go with someone else, assess the situation. If you're not sure, don't do it.
That was Help, I'm Bogged. Would you like to see any different scenarios? Let me know, and I'll do my best to get it done. It could be anything, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe if you haven't already. See ya later.